Up next on Laura McKenzie's Traveler, we're off to a city of dreams.
I love LA.
It's one of those cities that's so eclectic, it's just too hard to condense into a handful of words.
Welcome to LA! Welcome to LA!
It's this welcoming attitude, the incredible weather, and the promise of fame and fortune that draws people from all over the world to experience the magic and allure that Los Angeles has to offer.
When in Hollywood, we're styling.
After that, what city is #1 for excitement?
Welcome to the Big Apple, New York City.
Theaters, restaurants, nightlife, never a dull moment. The city definitely has it all.
Here we go!
Why sit inside when you can sit on top of the world?
Have a look.
The views are amazing, but I found a sightseeing option for those with a need for speed.
We're taking a boat ride in the New York Harbor.
You haven't lived until you've seen the Statue of Liberty at 60 miles an hour. Finally, with all the great places to vacation, where do we go next?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Huge resorts and theme parks bring in more than 29 million visitors a year.
Las Vegas sure has come a long way.
And you can travel the globe by crossing the street. Don't miss it. This week from Los Angeles, New York, and Las Vegas.
Welcome to Los Angeles, one of the most amazing places to visit in the United States. Not only is it beautiful, but it has a climate and a lifestyle that's pretty hard to beat. I mean, you can be on the beach in the morning and skiing in the mountains in the afternoon. It's true.
City of a million cars, city of dreams, city of angels. Los Angeles must have a dozen nicknames because it's one of those cities that's so eclectic, it's just too hard to condense into a handful of words. But I can think of 3 words that manage to capture the spirit of the open mind and open arms of the city. Welcome to LA.
Welcome to LA! Welcome to LA!
It's this welcoming attitude, the incredible weather, and the promise of fame and fortune that's drawn people from all over the world to experience the magic and allure that Los Angeles has to offer. People from 140 countries speaking 96 languages call LA home, resulting in a cultural diversity that truly offers something for everyone. So, what's in it for visitors? Let's hit the road and check out all the great things that LA has to offer.
In Los Angeles, you can rent just about anything. Evening gowns to go to the Oscars, a mega mansion to have a party. So I thought, when in Hollywood, we're styling.
Los Angeles was made for convertibles. With an average of almost 300 days of sunshine a year, it's no wonder that this is the movie capital of the world.
We're driving up Vine now, one of the main thoroughfares in Hollywood.
While it may have lost its luster from Hollywood's golden age, Hollywood and Vine is currently undergoing a major renaissance, but there still are some reminders of its seedier recent past.
The Pantages Theater is right over here. Now, people do come for that. I'll drive you by the theater right over here, and then we'll go around to the Capitol Records building.
Originally opened in 1939, the Pantages Theater is currently the place to see all the national tours of Broadway shows in LA.
The Capitol Records building. Ta-da! Great photo op. It's been destroyed more times than any other building in Hollywood in motion pictures, and I hear say it was the first building to be air-conditioned on the West Coast.
Built to look like a stack of records, these offices and recording studios were once the home of the Beatles, the Beach Boys, Frank Sinatra, and Tina Turner, among others. Definitely worth a drive-by. And then, back in the car to head up Hollywood Boulevard.
We're coming up to the most famous site in Hollywood, Grauman's Chinese Theater, right here. I'll go slow if nobody's right behind me. Look at all the tourists, where you put your hands and your feet in the footprints. They still show movies in there. It's connected to the Hollywood Highland Complex, which is right over here, which is all kinds of brand new shops. The Kodak Theater, where the Oscars are held, is right here. This is where they put the red carpet, right along this road here. Look up those steps there. From the top balcony up there, you can see the Hollywood sign. Can you see it right through that little hole there? We're holding up traffic, but I want you to see it.
There it is. Hooray for Hollywood. Time to park the car and go in.
Okay, now this is really fun. Grauman's Chinese Theater. We're gonna go over and put our hands in the handprints and our feet in the footprints and meet some of the characters. We're gonna love it.
your picture taken with one of the characters wandering around as well. These guys are all out-of-work actors working for tips and donations. It's fun, and your kids will love it too. Ah, the Walk of Fame on Hollywood Boulevard. So much to see. Just don't forget to look down.
Joseph Schenck, Richard Bartholomew. Who are these people? Who do you have to know to get your name on one of these?
Once you've had your fill of the Walk of Fame, check out the souvenir shops and vendors. They've got all kinds of crazy stuff.
Look, Elvis sunglasses. Thank you very much. Is it me? No. I just love these. Here, you try. Can you see?
Woohoo! Back to the rolls and head for the hills. Beverly Hills, that is. You don't have to have a Rolls Royce to drive in Beverly Hills. You'll see all kinds of cars here. Mercedes, Range Rovers, Jaguars, Ferraris. Who needs to shop? You could just stand on the corner and watch the money drive by. Speaking of fancy cars, if you want to see the best collection of luxury, vintage, and famous TV cars in the world, check out the Peterson Automotive Museum. It's amazing. Interactive exhibits trace the history of the great American automobile. From under the hood and in the shop, this museum has it all. From far-out cars from outer space, complete with shiny controls and a bubble-top cockpit, to cars of infamy like the original DeLorean. Rotating exhibits showcase this city's love of the automobile. And best of all, the Peterson Museum is just a few blocks away from the shopping mecca of the world.
Wow, there's just something about Rodeo Drive. I don't know what it is. Is it the cars that cost more than my house? Who knows? But I do know one thing. You can go shopping here and get some bargains. Yes, you can. There are normal stores here. And believe it or not, they even have sales.
There's nothing quite like shopping on Rodeo Drive. All the famous name designers are here. Even if you're just window shopping, you'll have a blast. Up next, welcome to the Big Apple, New York City. Theaters, restaurants, nightlife, never a dull moment. The city definitely has it all.
Here we go!
Why sit inside when you can sit on top of the world?
Wow, the Empire State Building, incredible.
And even locals will tell you that on your first trip here, you have to take a carriage ride through Central Park. Here's a tip: pack a collapsible duffel just in case your suitcase is overweight at the airline counter.
Laura McKenzie's Traveler. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, and don't forget to check out LauraMackenzieTV.com.
Welcome to the Big Apple, New York City. One of the most exciting cities on the planet. From Central Park to Times Square and Broadway, down here to the South Street Seaport, there is so much to do. So, if you're ready, we are gonna take Manhattan by storm.
New York City. If you've been here before, then you definitely know why some people say it's one of the greatest, maybe the best in the world. There are so many things to see and even more things to do here that it would take a month to crack the surface. But we've only got a short time, so what do you say we get started?
My advice when you first get to New York, take a quick sightseeing tour. Then you can figure out where everything is, what's going to be a drive-by for you, and what you're going to want to really see. Here we go!
You can see award-winning shows on Broadway, opera at the Met, the world-famous Rockettes at Radio City Music Hall, and jazz at the Lincoln Center. Hey, there's even live jazz played right on the street. And there's so many places to shop. Better check that credit card limit. From toys at FAO Schwartz to million-dollar necklaces at Harry Winston, it's all here if you want it. If the sky's the limit, then New York's got it.
Wow, the Empire State Building, incredible.
At 102 stories, the Empire State Building is now the tallest building in New York and is called one of the 7 wonders of the modern world by the American Society of Civil Engineers. Turns out this is one of the best places to start your tour of the Big Apple. So, the only way to go now is up.
Okay, this is the 86th. Wow. Have a look. East River here. UN Building. Chrysler Building right over there. recognize all these. Okay, let's compare the view at the top. We are now standing on the highest place you can stand in New York. Come on, I'll give you a quick tour of the 102nd floor. It's very small. You can look out the windows here. Here we are, and we're almost back to where we started. This is the one place you can see Central Park, though. Over here. You know what? I think I like the 86th floor better, because you can see out.
So, time to take the express ride down and hop on that double-decker bus to the next stop. There are so many things to do in New York that it's impossible to do it all in one trip. So we have to prioritize. Even locals will tell you that on your first trip here, you have to take a carriage ride through Central Park.
Central Park is over 800 acres. It's 50 blocks long. There's lawn bowling, there's lakes, there's ice skating, there's carousels. There is so much to see here. Definitely worthwhile.
So what's the best time to take a carriage ride?
Well, it depends. If you want like a romantic ride with your significant other, I would say evening. But mornings are really pretty as well. And this here is Strawberry Fields. It's not too big. It's just really there. It's a memorial for John Lennon.
Dedicated by Yoko Ono, it's named for his famous song.
Strawberry Fields is not really a field, but an area of Central Park that's dedicated to the memory of John Lennon. It's beautifully shaded and peaceful, and right at the center of 3 crossroads here, lined with benches, is the Imagine Memorial. It's a place to reflect and remember.
Imagine all the people. Hundreds visit every day, leaving flowers and letters to pay respect to one of New York's favorite citizens and songwriters who lived right across the street in the famous Dakota Building. As our carriage ride through the city's greatest park ends, I'm thinking about some of the other ways to get around in the city. Whether you take one of the famous New York cabs, a bus, or the subway, head downtown to see the original mode of transportation here, located at the southern tip of the island. This old ship is the focal point of South Street Seaport, a popular shopping and dining area for visitors. I found a sightseeing option for those with a need for speed. The Shark is a guaranteed adrenaline rush, just waiting for a few thrill seekers to give it a shot.
Who would have thought you could take a speedboat ride in the middle of New York Harbor? Unbelievable. Hang on, we're in for a wild ride.
Oh yeah, there's other ways to see the city, but you haven't lived until you've seen the Statue of Liberty at 60 miles an hour. Wow, now that was a blast. Up next,
Las Vegas sure has come a long way.
and you can travel the globe by crossing the street.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Theaters, restaurants, nightlife, Las Vegas definitely has it all. Here's a tip. Tear the pages you'll need out of your guidebook rather than carry the whole book. It will be outdated soon anyway.
Laura McKenzie's Traveler. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, and don't forget to check out LauraMcKenzieTV.com.
This is one town that really knows how to reinvent itself. Vegas is great for business people, for singles, for families. And you know, the center of it all has always been this road, Las Vegas Boulevard, known simply as the Strip.
Once a dusty trail, the Strip has come a long way since the Spanish explorers found an oasis in the desert and established the original settlement. But it wasn't until the 1930s that Vegas grew by leaps and bounds. Its real claim to fame was the influx of mafia gangsters like Bugsy Siegel, who opened up lavish hotels and casinos. Huge resorts and theme parks followed, and today bring in more than 29 million visitors a year. Las Vegas is generally referred to in 2 parts. Downtown, or Glitter Gulch, is home to the old-time hotels like the Golden Nugget and the Fremont. This area has been revitalized with the Fremont Street Experience. The most popular area is called the Strip, a 4-mile stretch of Las Vegas Boulevard lined with hotels and casinos, each one trying to outdo the next in order to draw the crowds ultimately to the tables. Today, there are as many hotel destination themes as there are flavors of jelly beans, and you can travel the globe by crossing the street. You'll recognize Lady Liberty standing proud at New York, New York, where the outside roller coaster draws thrill seekers. It zooms nightly past the familiar facade of the Empire State and Chrysler buildings, where the theme is strictly Manhattan. At the Luxor, you'll feel like Indiana Jones as you enter the Black Pyramid with a very believable Sphinx guarding the entrance. It's Egypt in all its glory. For the chivalrous, there's a medieval castle sans dragon at the Excalibur, where families come for real-life jousting tournaments. Ride gondolas in the Grand Canal of Venice and stroll the piazzas at the Venetian. Sip coffee under the Eiffel Tower at the Paris, where it's April all year, and romance is the name of the game. Extravagance and luxury is the draw at lavish hotels like the Wynn, where high-end shopping is a means to an end if you're a winner. Some hotels have taken the show outdoors, like the Bellagio, where fountains are set to music and water dances day and night. With all the fantasy on the Strip, it's easy to lose your heart as well as your wallet. But some people also lose their heads in the excitement, making Vegas notorious for whirlwind weddings. It's the #1 place in America to tie the knot.
Whether it's to reaffirm your vows or jump in from scratch, there's quite a variety of wedding chapels here, all with one thing in common: instant ceremonies. But which one to choose? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. One with Elvis or drive-through to go.
Yes, Elvis can preside over your ceremony. At the Graceland Chapel, even celebrities like John Bon Jovi came here to be married by the king. The Little White Chapel down the street married Michael Jordan and Joan Collins. Not to each other, of course, but for the more traditional types, this chapel is full service. So what's the procedure at 3 in the morning? Basically, you call ahead for a reservation or just take your chances. While you're waiting, check out the accessories. Spur-of-the-moment grooms can get anything they need, including the perfect tuxedo. Take it retro and go for the patent leather lace-ups. You can be anything you like, even a dead ringer for Bugsy Siegel. The bride can choose from dozens of wedding gowns. Anything is possible at any time. Sequins or pearls, you'll find it here. Then it's off to the chapel for vows. This part looks familiar. To have and to hold. Did you know they can do an internet feed so you can do a wedding Evite? No, not that hand, the left one. How sweet, must be a first-timer. And they'll also cater to specific religious rituals. Mazel tov. Couples light candles together in some ceremonies, often the start of a family tradition. This was the very first drive-through wedding chapel. When couples drove in, they were asked if they wanted to get hitched in their jalopy, and they were quick to answer, "I do." Now all you do is choose from the menu, place your order, and go to the drive-up window for the service.
By the power vested in me by the state of Nevada, I hereby pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your bride.
Here's a tip. For the best experience, chapels recommend that you come in a day ahead of time to make your wedding arrangements.
Laura McKenzie's Traveler. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, and don't forget to check out LauraMcKenzieTV.com. People come to Las Vegas for a little excitement. That's why there are so many hotel themes, wedding chapels, and games of chance. Some people just want to take a walk on the wild side.
Do you know that I have always wanted to jump out of a plane and try skydiving? I mean, it sounds so fantastic. The problem is I'm chicken. So I found a place in Las Vegas where they say you can do something that's exactly like skydiving. So I'm actually gonna do it.
Before you do anything, you have an orientation to know what you're gonna do and just how to do it.
First time you fly, you're gonna walk out and lie down on the bottom safety net. You're gonna be in the stable body position we talked about. Slowly turn the wind up and get you flying.
As a novice, you need to know a little more, like how to get into the suit, how to get into the air, what you do when you're in the air, and don't forget those earplugs.
Indoor skydiving is a simulation of the free fall aspect of skydiving. What we have is a 22-foot tall, 12-foot wide vertical wind tunnel, produces up to 120 miles an hour of wind.
Brad went first and demonstrated just what happens. Man, is he good. Then it was my turn. Yikes! Don't let go of me! It's harder than it looks, but the secret is to keep that chin up. Of course, the kids take to this easily. In fact, they're pros in no time. I think it's probably easier to jump out of a plane, but okay, tell me, how bad did I look up there? Never mind, I don't want to know, because I had a great time. That was one exciting flight, believe you me.
I hope you enjoyed seeing some of Las Vegas with me and that you'll join me again next time from another terrific place somewhere else around the world. From Los Angeles to South Street Seaport in Manhattan, I'm Laura McKenzie. Bye-bye.
When the sun sets across the desert in Las Vegas, the lights come on to signal its famous nightlife is about to begin. But not all the entertainment is in the showrooms. The Strip itself has lots to see, and a lot of it is free. From dancing fountains at the Bellagio to a spectacular volcano that erupts on schedule at the Mirage, complete with flames and smoke alongside a glistening waterfall.